Dong, pecker, Johnson, wiener, schlong, sausage, meat, pole, package, dick, Peter, rod, member, tool, unit, phallus, stick, pipe, cock, tallywhacker, rooster, anaconda, willy, one-eyed monster, knob, prick, trouser snake, wang, dingaling, joystick, love muscle, noodle, organ, pee-pee, salami, weenie, banana, eggplant, baby maker, dingle-doodle, manhood, shaft, baseball bat, third leg, chub, schwanstucker, baloney pony, hard-on, Richard, peen, hose, wood, Twinkie, family jewels, and, of course, boner. Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. This is the Golden Age Batman comic, where people keep saying a euphemism for erect penis.
Welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Linkara's gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. What's with these awkward subjects? What's all this art so rubbish? To anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he is a man who punch sporadically a grouch. Linkara, he has his own spaceship, but he's always on his couch. Linkara, ghosts, gods, a universe in flux. Linkara, this comic sucks. Linkara.
Language is a funny thing, people. The evolution of words and their usage can lead to their original meaning being so corrupted that the complete opposite of that definition becomes the defining one, as we have sadly seen with the word literal. But then there's how words take on new meanings and make their old usage hilarious when removed from their original context, and thus is the case with the word boner. The word seems to originate popularly from the early 1900s, though apparently it dates back as far as 1844. In terms of the 1900s one, it was a baseball slang term, meaning a blunder or mistake. It's believed that it's tied into the term bonehead, meaning someone stupid, of course. Apparently it was around the 1950s that it started being associated with its groinal implication, though it was still being used as a term for mistake at least as far as 1963, since it was used like that in a Twilight Zone episode.
But I'm afraid this time you pulled a boner.
But then there's today's comic, which comes to us from 1951. Back when the show started, this was a frequently requested comic for review because of some mimetic panels from it where the word boner was used over and over and over, and I didn't want to review it. Recall that, like with language, this show has evolved, originally attempting to firmly and rigidly adhere to the idea that it was only about bad comics. Sure, there were occasional exceptions, like the Adamantium Rage review, but there were special circumstances around that one. Nowadays, I do more mixed reviews and more frequently cover non-comic stuff, but back in the day, I felt very strongly about not doing a review of this because people just wanted me to be quoting the comic that kept saying boner. That doesn't make it a bad comic, just something hilarious in hindsight because Bill Finger couldn't predict that the word would come to mean something else. But the thing is, it may very well be bad. I haven't actually read it. So let's dig into Batman number 66 and the story, The Joker's Comedy of Errors, to see for ourselves. I said that this is a Golden Age comic, but that's only technically true, as the beginning of the Silver Age wouldn't officially start until 1954. But in terms of tone and style, this is Silver Age Batman all the way. And as it happens with these books at the time, it's an anthology. We're only going to focus on the boner story though, mostly to keep this brief after the hour-long episode last time, but rest assured, there's definitely more we could go over in the future, given some of the stories in this. The cover is standard weirdness of the time. Batman and Robin being menaced by a totem pole that's falling down on them, with the Joker's face on it. I'd ask why they aren't dodging out of the way, but knowing the Joker, he might have just set this up to spring back and forth without ever actually falling. Huh, you think this big long pole is indicative of anything in this story? Featuring the Joker's comedy of errors, his racially insensitive errors. We start off with our standard issue splash page preview of the story, featuring the Joker in front of an art gallery. The Joker's collection of the great boners of history, featuring infamous crime lord Big Dicks, Sans the Skeleton, and of course, Roddy McDowell. The actual photos are, of course, of historical blunders. Columbus, who set out for India and discovered America, a mistake that we are still paying for to this day. Baseball's classic boner, when Merkel of the Giants forgot to touch second. So this one is actually a real historical thing, and in fact, the Wikipedia page for it is called Merkel's Boner. Bet you didn't think this comic that I'm reviewing because of slang for male anatomy would be so educational, did ya? Long story short on that, especially since I'm not a baseball fan, apparently in 1908, rookie Fred Merkel of the New York Giants was supposed to run to second base while there was a runner at third. The runner reached home plate and the Giants won, with conflicting accounts of what happened to the ball. Merkel assumed the game was over, as did many of the fans who swarmed the field in celebration, and the Chicago Cubs realized Merkel hadn't touched second, and thus supposedly retrieved the ball and brought it to the plate, which invalidated the run to home. Now, as I said, I am not a baseball fan, so I might be getting this wrong, but honestly, this one feels like Merkel is unfairly getting the blame when it was just a case of sore losers doing rule lawyering too long after they could have salvaged it. It's just a really awkward boner, is what I'm saying. And finally in the gallery, reserved for Batman's Folly, aka that one first printing of Batman Damned that showed Bruce off full frontal. You've probably committed some boners in your time. Yeah, but I'd rather not get demonetized talking about them. Most everybody has. History is full of the mistakes of man, some of which never could be written off, and some which boomeranged into deeds of fortune. These boners changed the course of human events, the most heroic boners of all time! But only a sense of humor like the Joker's could think of translating boners into crimes. So the true identity of the Joker was actually Louis C.K.? And when the clown prince of crookdom sets out to recreate the classic errors of history for personal gain, and in addition readies a special boner just for Batman,
I knew it!
It all adds up to one of the most exciting adventures ever to befall the dynamic duo, in the story called The Joker's Comedy of Errors. So that's when the Batman and Robin of Syracuse enter Ephesus. We truly open in downtown Gotham, where the Joker and his gang are going into the Gotham City Electric Company to rob it. He takes the elevator up to the main office floor, 24 levels up, and has his men disable the power in the building while his goons rob what they can. When they're done, they try to return to the ground floor via the elevator again, but the elevator operator points out the obvious. How do you expect the elevator to move? You cut off all the electricity. What a fool I've been! How could I blunder so? Damn it, if only I had two other Jokers around who could tell me my plans were idiotic. They take the stairs, but Batman and Robin intercept them on their way down. I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to bump into you again, Joker. Pretty sure that was a euphemism Linkara forgot at the start. Suddenly, the Joker makes a desperate move. He threw a match into some chemicals used for film processing. Such chemicals being tragically common in the electric company offices? Fortunately, in the struggle, the Joker and his goons had to abandon the money they stole. Sure, they got away, but with nothing. And the newspaper the next day says it all. Joker pulls Boner of the Year! I didn't even know he was in the running with the Adult Video News Awards. Other famous all-time boners.
Please, there are ladies present.
The Joker reads the paper. So, they laugh at my boner, do they?
Are you sure it isn't time for a colorful metaphor?
I'll show them! I'll show them how many boners the Joker can make! I mean, there's a lot of fan fiction out there, I wouldn't be surprised. Chortle at Joker's Boner.
Hey, phrasing!
This emphasis on boners has given me an idea for a new adventure in crime! Get the Sharpies! We're gonna draw dicks on so many things! Gotham City will rue the day it mentioned the word boner!
Boner.
A few nights later, the Joker explains his plan. I will take the great boners of all time and turn them into crimes. Or, if I'm Henry VIII, retroactively make my boners legal. His first plan is based on when the USS Missouri ran aground in some mud. He recreates it by changing some buoys in Gotham Harbor, redirecting the maiden voyage of a ship so that it too gets stuck, and allows the Joker and his goons to board it and steal a fortune in diamonds that's aboard. Stung by his boner, Joker lashes back. God, just the layers of innuendo that the newspapers are providing. This is the real reason I couldn't review this. Every 5 seconds I have something new to point out, and this 12-page story will end up producing another hour-long episode. He's next inspired by the Leaning Tower of Pisa and the mistakes in the foundation work that caused it to lean. And that's definitely why he thought of boners when looking at it, and no other reasons whatsoever. The Joker and his gang head to the home of an oil magnate who had transplanted a castle from Europe, including a large bell tower. They dig under the tower, disrupting the soil beneath it enough so that in a week, after a rainstorm, the tower slinks over into the castle walls. This provides a good vantage point for the gang to climb the tower into the castle and steal stuff inside. Batman and Robin return home after searching the tower for clues, unable to find anything to point them to the Joker's hideout. Batman tells Robin to make a note of how they're leaving town next month to testify at a trial. Suddenly, a harsh voice drowns out the music on the radio.
Oh good, the Joker is drowning out all the rock and roll music on the radio. Finally, something less evil to listen to.
The Joker mocks Batman, apparently using a powerful transmitter to override all the local stations. However, because it's so powerful, the two work to trace the signal while the Joker keeps rambling about boners.
Yes, there are more boner crimes to come. But more important, soon, Batman will make the boner of the year! No chance, Joker! That's why I wear the Bat Dance belt.
He claims that he'll turn Batman into the laughingstock of Gotham.
What does he mean, Bruce? How can he force you into a boner?
Well, have you seen Catwoman's outfits lately? There's only one thing to do. We've got to get to the Joker before he can get to us. Let's continue our study of the great boners of all time.
I can't believe that this is the comic that shows that Frederick Wortham might have been onto something. Meanwhile,
ho-ho! Look at this gun, men! It's made out of wood! I'm gonna defeat Magneto with it!
are you ready for another boner crime, Joker?
Well, obviously! Wood!
No, in this case, he's inspired by the story of John Dillinger escaping from prison with a wooden gun in order to spring one of their goons from prison. The scheme works. While the guard assumes it's a fake gun at first, the goon taps his ring against the metal bars while also tapping the gun to make it sound like it's metal, and he's able to get out. The Joker sends the wooden gun to Commissioner Gordon to mock him. He meets with Batman and Robin. Those boner crimes are making us look bad, and I'm worried about the boner he's readying for you.
No need for him to ready one. I have it already.
A few days later, Bruce gets an idea, seeing that a movie about the Trojan War is going to be filmed in Gotham, with a full-scale duplicate of the Trojan horse. And indeed, the Joker is plotting just that. The replica horse will be stored in a warehouse full of expensive furs, so he plans on sneaking in with his goons inside the horse, get inside the warehouse, and then bust out to steal the furs. What a haul, Joker! And what a boner those movie people will make when they pull this horse out of here tomorrow morning. You could call this boner Morning Wood, in fact. Batman asks the film crew to search the inside of the horse. Realizing the jig is up, the crooks break out early and begin fighting our heroes. Unfortunately, Robin slips and Batman has to save him, allowing the Joker to get away again. They are able to foil the robbery, at least, to the Joker's annoyance.
Bah! Confound that Batman! It is well that I am ready to trick him into his boner!
What, like is he gonna run his crotch into a desk by accident? The Joker takes inspiration from Wrong Way Corrigan, an early aviator who made a supposedly accidental transatlantic flight to Ireland when he was originally supposed to fly from New York to Florida. In this case, he's going to use a directional beam transmitter to screw up the Batplane's attempts to fly out for his testimony. And this one really baffles me, both for Corrigan and for this scheme. If Corrigan didn't intend to fly to Ireland, based on what I read, it was a problem of equipment failure, and the same will be here, it's not really a stupid mistake if you're relying on the tech to give you accurate information and you make do with what you got. Like, yeah, it screws up Batman giving testimony, but how is it supposed to make Batman a laughingstock? Batman heads out. Take care of yourself, Batman. This is bad flying weather.
So long, Commissioner. We'll be back in a few days. How am I even hearing you down there?
And yep, the flight is screwed up and Batman ends up in England instead of California as planned. Somehow, this makes the papers decide, yeah, Batman really is like Corrigan and we should make fun of him for it. Like, if they accused him of being drunk or just not knowing which way to fly, that'd be one thing. But one of the papers specifically says that the Joker was responsible. So it's not his mistake, it's just the villain screwing with him. Mind you, it doesn't help that Batman refuses to talk to reporters reporters who want to hear his side of it. Also, the Batplane lands on police headquarters? What? In any case, the Joker holds a gala at his hideout for, I presume, other criminals? Anyway, he toasts the idea of Batman being considered a national joke. However... Yep, Batman and the cops arrive and quickly arrest everyone.
But how did you find my new hideout? I took such pains to conceal it. You committed a boner, Joker. You were so busy forcing me into a boner, you forgot you were committing one yourself. A battle of boners, if you will.
They knew he was using the beam transmitter to screw with their guidance systems, and claimed that they could have easily stopped it, so they deliberately flew to England so they could use that time to trace the signal back. And so our story ends with the Joker in jail and the mayor shaking Batman's hand. Our city, and indeed our nation, owe you an apology, Batman. Actually, they committed the greatest boner of all, by losing faith in you.
No, Mr. Mayor, we all make boners sometimes. Except mine are better because they are the Bat boners.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's hope we've the last of things like boners.
Well,
this story is silly and hilariously outdated with its word choice, but I would not call it bad. It's not that great, I'll admit. I mean, aside from the word choice, while it's an interesting idea for a set of Joker schemes, the problem it runs into is that Batman and Robin aren't really in it that much. And when we do have them, there isn't a lot of action. There's a very brief fight on the Trojan horse, the brief fight in the stairway, but that's only a few panels. The rest of the time, the whole thing feels more like just a big educational thing for the kids, teaching them about interesting moments from history, however briefly. But that's really all you can get out of it, some amusing historical anecdotes. And of course, a bunch of characters not knowing that in 75 years, a dude on the internet will make fun of them for using slang for hard-ons. But otherwise, it's just fine at best. If you took out the repeated use of boner, it'd just be a forgotten piece of Batman history. Next time, back to Patreon-sponsored reviews as we look at a few more episodes of Gokaiger.
But how did you find my new hideout? I took such pains to conceal it. Oh, Joker, you're far too stiff and rigid in your ways. You might as well have erected a long pole with a bell at the end of it that dingles and dongles, announcing where you are.
Hello, my friends. Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications on new video releases. If you'd like to support future videos, you can check out my Patreon, buy merch from the store envy link in the description, or check out the t-shirts available from Fourth Wall. Thanks for watching.